Today we find ourselves in this lovely spot alongside Rock Creek. And today I'm going to take us back a week to the solemnity of the Sacred Heart of Jesus, celebrated on Friday, June 16. Last week, I set our reflections on the Sacred Heart in the context of the anniversary of the Watergate break-in, as much as to say that in the secular realm, as in the spiritual realm, that which we love, in this case our country and our democratic way of life, can be threatened in ways that create us pain and threaten our hope. And the Sacred Heart tells us that we can find hope amidst the pain, because Jesus, the source of divine love, walked this way before us. This reality demonstrates St. Ignatius's principle that we can find God in all things, in our secular lives, as well as our explicitly religious and spiritual lives. What was true in 1972 in the Watergate crisis has morphed into a vastly different and much more dangerous reality. Today, we witness the institutions of government, the principles of representative democracy, the welfare of our country threatened in a way categorically different from what we experienced in 1972. At that time, principles, people, and processes of government brought truth to light. Today, we hope the same will be true, but the threats are clear, the risks are great, and hope for secularly revealed truth is much diminished. And not only that, but these same threats exist in the institutional church, in which a pope, elected under the influence of the Holy Spirit by the College of Cardinals, is under siege, and the renewal promised by Vatican II compromised. These realities, distressing and threatening as they are, however, do not prevent us from experiencing peace in our own hearts and amongst our families and friends. Any ultimate peace, though, is unlikely to come from within ourselves unless we live in small cabins deep in the woods or in palatial gated communities set off from the world. We can place ourselves in the midst of the beauty of God's creation as we are now and ask for divine help in time of need. The icon of the Sacred Heart, revealed by Jesus to St. Margaret Mary Alacoque in 1673, shows us a blood-red heart surmounted by a cross engulfed in flames and surrounded by the crown of thorns. Our hope, and peace in time of need arise from the divine heart that loves ardently, proclaiming that love from the cross, from where he preached the Beatitudes in his suffering. Jesus on the cross, and through the medium of this icon, shows us that the only way to peace in our world is through a life of compassionate service to those who suffer, trusting in God's care in this life, in whatever mode of life work we pursue. Such service, of course, carries with it the threat of persecution and death. But Jesus' life and death show us that the Father sustained him in his life and in his death, and will sustain us too. The deeper significance and the ultimate power of the icon of the Sacred Heart arises from our individual appropriation of this promise in our own hearts and lives. What do I believe is always the question, and the best response is, Lord, I believe, help my unbelief. Help me believe yet more fully and experience yet more fully the promises Jesus made to St. Margaret Mary, of which these are a few. He promised her, and he promises us all the graces necessary for our state of life. He promises peace in our families, consolation in all our difficulties, to be a refuge during life and especially at the hour of death, to shed abundant blessing upon all our undertakings, to make tepid souls become fervent, to help fervent souls rise speedily to great perfection, and to give priests the power of touching the hardest hearts. In this beautiful place, in our troubled times, let's call on Jesus and Mary through the icon of his Sacred Heart.